When I was in high school, our senior English class, we did a little section on semantics. And one of the sayings that we used was the map is not the territory. The menu is not the meal. And those phrases kind of oriented you towards thinking about words, thinking about descriptions, thinking about how we describe things. It's never the thing itself. The thing itself is always beyond the description. Your description can point to it. Your description, of course, can describe it, but it can never become the thing. It never is the actual thing. And in, I think, one of the earlier videos of the coin, I was talking about orienting myself towards the patient and putting aside the documentation and all the competition that the documentation has with the patient. And this menu, eating the menu, to me, that's what I call the people who are too focused on the documentation and too forgetting of the way documentation can never, ever capture what happens in a hospice visit, what actually happens, what actually transpires, the warmth, the friendliness, the guidance, the care that you're taking, and the knowledge and wisdom that you're hoping to impart to somebody. You're not going to be able to write that all down. But there are people that really want to see your documents reflect this or that or the other thing. And they're usually the clinical things, the things about safety, all important, all necessary, just like a menu is necessary at a restaurant. But there's times I really feel like somebody's sitting in a restaurant and they see the words chicken parmesan and they rip it out of the menu and they stick it in their mouth and they're like, oh, this doesn't taste like chicken parmesan. And I'm like, well, yeah, that's because it's the words chicken parmesan. It's not an actual plate of chicken parmesan. So there you go. And I can't tell you how distressing it is to have administrators, people come to tell me about how important this documentation is. JACO's coming, the inspections are coming, and I'm like, yeah, that's all great. Where's your support for me? Where's your support for the person who's actually cooking? It's kind of like, I do think, just like restaurant inspectors are important. It's important that somebody comes in and makes sure that you're not trying to sell things on the menu that you don't actually have, that you're not selling things that aren't on the menu. I mean, I guess the menu should reflect what the meals are that you're preparing. And, you know, a restaurant inspector, there's mouse droppings in the kitchen. Is the dishwasher water hot enough to sterilize the dishes and the silverware? All those things are important. And when people inspect hospices, they're, you know, if somebody's taking an opioid, are they on a bowel regimen? If somebody's using oxygen, have they hung up the signs properly? And have you told them about you can't light a candle and you can't smoke? And yeah, of course, safety is incredibly important. And I can't expect that the restaurant inspector cares whether I'm a good cook or not. They're not going to sit there and eat the meal. They're just making sure it's safe for the public. And so that's how I think of the Department of Health and all those people that are coming to go through the charts. They're kind of like that. And they need to make sure that what we're doing is safe for the public. But they don't really care whether I'm holding someone's hand at a critical moment and really offering them a lot of emotional support. Whatever. That's my job as the cook. To help out that way. But yes, eating the menu. If you're getting confused between documentation and the actual patient encounter, I call that eating the menu.